procedure. It tends to need a little bit less of a recovery period, and it leaves you with most of your own knee. We've replaced the arthritic portions of your knee. You're able to lead a more active lifestyle after this type of a procedure.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
We do have an accident to start things off, northbound 4394, right at Beecher. We got cars on both shoulders, so just something to be careful with. We do have a little bit of a backup heading into that area. Otherwise, the rest of the system is moving along just fine. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early mist or fog. Showers are likely for the rest of the day, up to a quarter of an inch. A high of 47. Tonight, early showers. Chance for patchy fog. A low of 41. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Lake Geneva.
Okay.
Y'all been there?
Yeah.
They have a chainmail store where it's super cool. They got, like, the tassely things for girls.
Guys, I figured a real dodgeball team needs real dodgeball uniforms. And so I threw out those old ratty ones and designed these myself.
And the lady comes over to me, and they had a thong chainmail thing.
I hope everything fits. Wait. Nice. This isn't right. This isn't what I ordered.
So the lady was selling me hard because it looked cool and how to...
We're talking about a medieval thong? Is that what we're talking about right now?
It was a medieval thong.
ADAA rules require we wear matching uniforms. Well, I don't think they require assless chaps, okay?
And she's like pushing. Your wife will love it, this and that. And I didn't want to buy it, so I just went, they're used. Forget about it.
You must be daddy. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
So, how did the meet and greet go yesterday? The meet and greet.
Who are you talking about?
The Blammer.
Oh, it was wonderful. Although I'm a little threatened.
Oh no! We suck again!
What?
That's Chewy.
You suck again?
Wait, what are you threatened by?
Wait.
Because I talked to the owner.
Yeah.
Hold on, stop. You're not giving enough details, okay?
Are you eating?
So we went to the Q Club
right now?
Yeah, I threw a granola bar in my mouth. I thought he was going to tell his story.
You paused him to eat and talk?
Time out. I thought he was going to tell his story.
Don't deflect. Don't blame. During a segment, why are you eating food during a segment?
I thought he was going to take the reins.
No, it doesn't matter. The segment's going on. You shouldn't be eating food. And it had to have been one hell of a long story because you're still chewing.
Is it good, though? I mean...
We done?
They can't hear you when you chew on the air. It's too low. There you go.
You know what that reminded me of? Coming to America. Bark like a dog.
A big dog.
Ooh, thank you. Okay, time out.
Yep.
Yesterday afternoon, you and Joshy and not Ashton. Ashton wasn't there. Gabe went to the Q Club with the Blammer. Joshy had never met the Blammer before.
Yes.
That's what I was referring to when I said, how did the meet and greet go? So y'all are at the Q Club. Now that we've set the scene.
Yes. The owner was there, Mike, who does the reads. Wonderful. And then my father-in-law and brother-in-law showed up.
Yeah, they just randomly showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did Joshy think of the Blammer? Blammer wearing the exact same thing. Am I right?
I mean, he did have a hoodie on over the top, which he said is what he wears to church on Sundays. You know, he wants to dress it up. He throws on the zip-up hoodie.
Just so we're clear, exact same thing is the neon yellow
shirts.
I'm going running at 5 a.m. type of shirt.
Yes. So neon yellow shirts.
But no running.
Yeah, correct. No,
so this is the second time we did it. The first time we went, I don't know how much we announced it. There were probably 2 other people there. This time, which was a half hour earlier, there were a lot of people there.
We had a lot of people at our table. There were a good amount of people at the Q Club. Joshy could not get enough of the Blammer. He just kept putting quarters in. Like, he just wanted to hear more story after story, because he's got a lot. He's got a lot of stories.
Yeah, yes.
But the best part about being around the Blammer and Chewy is what Blammer calls Chew. So Chewy calls him a number of different things. Doc, Blammer, Chernobyl corn. He comes back at Chewy, hey, fat boy.
What?
Or Chubbs.
Yeah. Hey, Chubbs.
Total deflect.
Chubbs, can I get another one?
Is it Chubbs
not in this Mickey Mouse glass. Put it in a tall one.
Happy Gilmore? You know, that Chubbs?
I don't know. He's a weird dude.
Maybe you would think that, but after you hear him call him fat boy.
But
Wait, I don't think you should be allowed, Gabe, to engage in this conversation unless you do the Blammer voice the whole time.
I kind of agree, because you were doing it pretty well.
It was really good.
He has mooch radar, which is impressive.
Coming to your store soon, $29.99.
There's 2, 4, 6 of us? 6 of us at the table. He's all the way on the other end, opposite to me.
Yep.
And Mike, the owner, sitting next to me. He's like, God, thanks for the reads. He's like, our parties now stretch into February, where they ended the weekend after
Christmas.
Christmas or New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Blammer perks up. What? What? Do I get a free fish fry with that? He's just King Mooch. But that's fine, right? Because of the quarters you put in.
Oh, he's got story after story.
You got to do the Blammer voice.
Well, if I'm doing the Blammer, I'll do the Blammer voice.
Do it again for me, please.
Who? Gabe? He's wonderful.
Can you get me another one? But not in this Mickey Mouse glass.
I'm not 5. Give me a tall one. I want a tall one.
So now you can tell your part about being scared or worried.
He wants a cut of the fee.
Well, the problem is Mike also enjoys the Blammer, the owner of the Q Club.
Loves him.
So, like, he may jump in. He loves the Blammer read. Like, we had to send it to him again yesterday. Like, Josh is on his phone downloading it so we can text it to Mike. And yeah, Chewy may be out of a job when it comes to Q Club. We may have to outsource this to the Blammer to talk about the Q Club of Wisconsin.
So he had a very serious injury back in '99, and that's how I met him.
Story.
But when he gets shined up enough, he'll pull his pants down and show you where he has no hamstring.
Chewy had a heart out last night, so we did not get to that point. We heard the story of the traumatic incident, but we did not get to the point where he was pulling his pants down in public.
I just want to make clear, you just said Chewy had a hard out. Did not, Ashley, back me up here. It did not sound like hard out.
I heard hard out, I'm not going to lie. But that's because I also know what Chewy was doing.
He had a hard out.
He had a hard out.
Because you were going to the Bucks game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do people that are not in this industry know what a hard out is?
No one on any show on our station knows what a hard out is. I can assure you that.
Should we just say it? Just get it out of the way.
Say what?
Hard on.
That's not. You can say that. It's just that's what she thought you said.
You can say that, or you can't say that.
You can.
I believe that's one.
That's fine.
You can say that, but you can't say the circle.
Don't even
the circle.
Well, you shouldn't say it either.
The fact that 4 years into this sucker, we still don't know is on you.
Yeah, because I stand by.
Is on you.
Even if you had a list, you would disregard the list.
No, that's not true. I'd put the list right here,
fact.
and then before I'd say something, I'd reference the list and be like, whoop. Can't say
then
that.
You complain about having too many things to worry about.
This is easy, Jen. For him, yes, I can excuse. You're on television every week.
And?
If you wouldn't say it on television, you probably shouldn't say it on the radio.
I wouldn't say any of the stuff I say on this radio show on television.
Yeah, but she gets pent up being on television. And here's where she lets it all out, right?
She's like a bull. Like she's like. But are we in trouble now? Like game day's basically over. She's got one more left. Like after the national, two more because we got the national championship game. Like after the championship game, I'm just gonna open the door and she's gonna come charging in here like a bull, listing off every curse word she can think of.
Yes, I'm glad you're aware of what's going to happen.
Blammer didn't want to go home either.
Oh, he was having a time.
If you guys said you would drop him off, he would have stayed.
He was holding court. Every story that he had under the sun, he's telling us about the elk he killed with Brett one time, and
which is a lie.
No,
he never killed an elk.
Wait,
maybe he did. Oh, the guy is like.
Because he goes hunting. I love hunting. Hunting's.
He's exhausting.
I'm a hunter.
There you go.
He talked about the corn.
He did
the
talk.
Corn?
The corn came up.
Yes. He thinks custard at our favorite place, Oscar's, is 9 corns, right? I don't know 9. I don't know where 9 comes from.
Oh, wait, in his bartering system.
Yes.
Correct.
He thinks corn is currency.
Yeah, if he brings 9 ears of corn, he's going to be able to get custard.
A cup. Like a cup of custard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe more. I don't
That's
know.
a bad deal for him. 9, 5 years maybe.
I mean, but again,
think of how much corn he must have.
Well, his nickname is Chernobyl corn.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's good corn you're
It's
bartering.
hideous. It's terrible.
Well,
there's 1 kernel for every 5 spots.
Yeah, but I don't want more corn. Just if it's bad corn, I don't want more. I mean, I don't want corn, period. But if it's more bad corn, why would I want more of it? Less.
I don't know, but people, I don't.
There's no way people actually engage in his bartering system, is there?
Oh, they do.
What?
I bet Chewy's probably bartered with him.
Yeah.
once or
Well, we know
twice.
he's bartered with him, but not for corn, right? You've given him some of the blue pills.
That's for storing the equipment in his barn.
Oh, see there.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah. And gummies.
So you're really encouraging this then.
I got a lot of equipment.
And a hard out.
Yeah.
It's rather large.
Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. So then, Chew, you went to the Bucks game.
I did.
And you sat where at the Bucks game?
Row 6. Great seat. Unbelievable seats. Unbelievable. And Craig was there. Came over and said hello. And our seats are better than his. I would take 6th row over courtside any day of the week. Any day.
Okay.
You see more. Like
and,
the first.
And people see you less.
Does that mean people that sit on the court or look at me?
I'm just saying, when you're sitting on the court, everyone sees you.
Yeah.
You're on the court. You're literally feet from the action.
Just not. It's not relaxing to sit on the court. That's how I see it.
What, because you have to actually pay attention?
Yes. Yes.
Heaven forbid you go to a game and have to, watch
I've
it.
got a lot of takes.
How many people did you go with?
My 2 boys and my wife.
Okay, so just 4 people.
4.
Okay. Yeah, 6th row seems decent. I think most people, look, if it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I think most people would take the courtside seats because there's some lure, right? There's some, mystique about courtside seats.
It's cool to put your feet on the floor. It's really cool to have your feet on the floor. Like, it just is.
You see so much more in the 6th row.
No, you don't. Your feet have literally been at midfield of Lambeau playing in games. So, for the average person, being able to have your feet on the floor is different for you who's, played in a Super Bowl. That's because...
But he's right about the vantage point. He's right about how, because you can't see when you're sitting on the court, you can't see the other side of the floor. Your depth perception is all off.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a little bit elevated, you can see better.
How long do you think that floor is? You can see to the other side.
It's not as good.
No. I'm saying you can see it, but your depth perception is off. Like, you can't see spacing and stuff from sitting on the floor.
Yeah, you can.
I was a foot below the rim, which is perfect. But the only sporting event, I believe, where you want to be in the front row is baseball. That's it. Football, no. Hockey, no.
You want to talk about depth perception?
Yeah, I don't want to be in the front row of baseball.
For baseball?
Mm-mm.
Tough to tell if a ball's actually leaving the ballpark or just a pop fly.
It's the best. Because you don't care what the left fielder's doing. Who cares? He gets 2 balls hit to him in a game.
But I'm just saying, ball goes in the air. You're not quite sure how far it's going from that level.
I'm telling you, it's the best.
Your argument assumes that he knows how far the ball is going anyway.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I got a lot of takes, though. We don't have to get to them
6th
now.
row versus floor. So if people had the opportunity to sit in the lower bowl and you offered them 6th row seats or floor seats, you're telling me more people would take the 6th row because they can see better than the floor seats.
Yes.
What you're also failing to factor in is those floor seats come with drinks.
That's a positive. But I don't get my drinks.
someone gets them for you.
That's what the kids are there for.
Why I had those suckers. All right, I'll think about this one. I don't know. I think I'm with you from a vantage point standpoint. I'm also with you from I don't want everyone to be seeing me at the game. Like, I'm just not one of those people who's like, I'm at the game. Look at me at the game, people.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a seat snob. I do like lower bowl being closer to the action. And we've talked about this before. If someone offers me seats to an event, my first question is, after I say, thank you so much for the offer, where are the seats?
But in the car, I realized that I had a big taco stain on my pants. And if I was in the front row, I would have been self-conscious, so I would have been trying to cover that up all day long. But the sixth row, no one cares.
When you're saying taco stain,
I recycled the pants.
Right, but still,
the taco
stain.
Taco.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah, that's.
Are we going back to the thonger yesterday?
No, we should be going to break.
Where I felt like Raleigh Fingers with a mask
on. Gabe?
Jason Wilde. Jason Wilde. Ooh, doggy. Jason Wilde coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We got to talk to him about Joe Barry yesterday, who went to the podium, who took to the microphone and talked about the heat he's been feeling as his unit continues to underperform and people are criticizing his defense. That's next.
Looking for the perfect gift for that Bucks fan in your life? No, not Chewy. He's got enough. But perhaps somebody is looking for that new number 0 jersey or that team hoodie to gear up for another potential deep playoff run. A $500 Bucks Pro Shop gift card could be yours to elevate your Bucks shopping. Now through January 7th, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com to register for your chance at that $500 shopping spree. That's right. It's that simple. Head to ESPNWisconsinContests.com to enter now for that $500 Bucks Pro Shop shopping spree.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 4394, we have an accident at Beecher. Cars on either side of the shoulder. And it's just a very localized delay, if that's even still there. They're just about ready to get this thing cleared out of the way. So there's good news there. But otherwise, the rest of the system looking pretty quiet. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, early mist or fog. Showers are likely up to 1/4 inch even, with a high of 47. Tonight, early showers, chance of patchy fog, a low of 41. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
Good morning, Tausch. How are you? Old T's I'm not feeling 100%. Tummy ache.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
No, I think with all that little stuff that's going around, and I'm going to grind.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977. The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you. We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
'Twas the night before Christmas and my mind was going crazy. What in the world am I gonna get for Aunt Daisy? A box of chocolate or wine? Ugh, would a gift basket be fine? Then out of the blue, a great idea flew. The Golden Mast on Okachi Lake. A Weisgerber gift card. Why didn't I think of that? For heaven's sake. A perfect gift. Dinner with a view. A warm fireplace. Filet mignon. Shrimp scampi. Just to name a few. The holiday decorations are over the top. I bet the Golden Mast is a great idea for a happy hour stop. Live music, German night, fish fry, Sunday brunch. I'm thinking Christmas party, just a hunch. Whether it's 10 or 250 you must entertain this season, the Golden Mast has private rooms for whatever the reason. On grasshoppers, on martinis, hot toddies, and more. I can't wait to get to the Golden Mast to see what's in store. Golden Mast, dash in to dine, or buy gift cards online. Get to the website to see what's going on. That's goldenmastin.com.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
Theoretically, you could certainly draft another quarterback now with the holes you have on the roster and the fact that you just seem committed to drafting defensive players in the first round.
Okay, most of the time.
Almonds specifically or all nuts?
Well, these nuts, those nuts, whatever nuts work.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Boucher Automotive. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive. We are driven by you. Also sponsored by Century Foods. Win $700 in groceries from Century Foods as Century celebrates their 70th anniversary. Find the weekly code on Century's Facebook or Instagram and enter to win.
We love our time with our friend and teammate Jason Wilde here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Jason. How you doing today?
Good morning, dude. Jen, what are you doing here?
I know. What, Brett Favre?
That's Brett Favre.
I don't have a college game day tomorrow. I don't have college game day until December 31st. So, lucky you.
No, I knew you were there. I was just going for the joke. Good morning, everyone. I love you all equally, although maybe Chewy a tiny little bit more, especially when he wears his thong.
We go way back, buddy.
A lot of history together.
Yes.
Yep. Not wearing thongs.
And if you haven't heard how he described the thong, you can find that on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts. I'll tell you that there is a brewer with a mustache who has mentioned several times.
Wearing a mask.
Well, now he doesn't have to go listen. Jason, we are talking about Joe Barry, who addressed the media yesterday and talked about how challenging this stretch has been for him and his family. And look, we rattled off yesterday on our show all of the statistics, where this defense ranks in all of the major categories. Then Gabe even talked about, hey, you want to go one step further? DVOA is another one, and they also are very, very low on the list there in the 20s. And then we said, look, maybe those things don't change your mind or make you think one way or another. But the fact that Tommy DeVito and Baker Mayfield were the back-to-back NFC Offensive Players of the Week should be a glaring and obvious sign that what's going on out there isn't working. What was your reaction to Barry's comments yesterday about how he's handling the criticism?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things, right? I mean, I think one thing that I have always tried to do, and I think I've largely succeeded, is remember that all these guys, despite being highly compensated and getting all the glory when things go well, that they're still human beings. So when things go poorly, I try not to, be personal or unfair. And so when he talked about his family, I understand that. I totally get it. Right? I mean, I think his daughter's in high school here. I get it. I do. At the same time, this is a high-profile job, and that kind of stuff is going to happen. Now, I would hope that people weren't flat-out jerks to people in his family, and that it was more they're worried about their dad or their husband, and that's the way that it was hard for them, and not, they're going to the grocery store and, somebody's coming up and saying, your dad sucks as a defensive coordinator. So that was the first thought I had. The second one is, I think if we're being honest, and I understand the mediocrity that permeates the NFL and especially the NFC, but it's not like they've been hot garbage from start to finish this season. Gabe, you would acknowledge that?
Yeah, I would acknowledge that, but
okay,
it still hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying that it has been, and as even though Tausch is playing some revisionist history with me, I did not expect him to get fired on Monday, but I did say that if I was Matt LaFleur, I would have, and that's nothing in any way personal against Joe Barry, but what I would have done was thought that, all right, we're not gonna make major wholesale changes in terms of what we do, but I thought with 3 games left, what was the year? Was it they fired Yost and promoted Swaim? Is that what the Brewers did?
Yeah, 07.
At the end of a season.
That was the year they made the playoffs. Yeah,
with just a handful of games left, right? Something like 12 or something.
Games left.
Right. Correct. You read my mind, Jen. And so, I think even though you don't have any ready-made defensive coordinators on the staff, you can do the interim thing. I do think that there are probably players that don't believe in Joe Barry's system or in Joe Barry himself. So you make that change. That I understand that means that if you want to go a completely different direction next year, that you're then going to have to tell the interim guy, hey, you didn't get the job either, but that's the cost of doing business. So that's what I thought would happen. I thought he would stay on, but I thought that it would be beneficial to make the move. They chose not to do it, and so now they've got 3 games left. What's ironic, and I think I'm using that word correctly and not like Alanis Morissette, is that the defense they're facing this week is coordinated by a guy who runs a similar scheme, has a similar background, but is younger, more innovative, and has had success now, first as the Denver Broncos defensive coordinator and now as the Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator.
And that's Evero?
Yes. And he worked in the building in Green Bay. He worked in the scouting department for a period of time. He interviewed for the job when Joe Barry got it. And if he wanted to, he was the guy that I liked. LaFleur was the guy that I liked in the head coaching process, and Evero was the guy that I liked in the defensive coordinator process because he ran the Vic Fangio system, but I thought young guy, more innovative, more new ideas. I didn't know Joe Barry from Adam, but I thought this guy's resume with the 2 times that he's been a coordinator, let's try something else. That is not the way Matt LaFleur went. That's fine, but we did talk a little bit about Evero yesterday with LaFleur, and if we're being honest, there's not a lot going well for the Carolina Panthers, but look at their numbers defensively. And it's not like they've got 9 first-round draft picks that are parading around the field. So, again, I thought that we asked the questions that needed to be asked. I thought he took ownership of the disappointment, but this is the part that I think is important to highlight. And Domofsky and I sit right by each other in the auditorium, and we agreed, he just seemed resigned. He seemed, I don't want to say broken because that's a really strong word, but there was just a different, and I don't think I went in expecting it, but I just felt like his mood, his affect was a lot different than it had been on every other Thursday I'd seen him. And I just think that maybe he really sees the handwriting on the wall and knows that he got the last 3 games, but he's probably not going to get next year.
Jason, who in your belief is not going to play?
I don't think Devondre Campbell's going to play. And again, I wish that he would have not given his blanket. I ain't talking about nothing that happens on the internet, because I still don't understand. Is his ire directed at Barry? Is it at people on social media? What is his issue? But they've, and frankly, Chewy, I'd be curious what you thought. so he goes on this rant about not playing. Rant is probably strong because you only get 240 characters, but about not playing through injury, and then you give him the week off to not practice. Like I don't know if I would have done that if I was LaFleur. Would you?
No, I think it you kind of throw
sends a bad message to me.
Yeah, you're kind of throwing Pat McKenzie. I just don't know how that goes about. Because I know, Jason, back in the day, Holmgren would meet on Monday and then on Friday. Who's playing, right? And it's really on the player. Like, Pat is not going to put anyone out there that's hurt. So a lot of it's on the player. I don't know. I don't know how it goes about.
So to answer your question, I don't think he's playing. I don't think Watson's playing. I still don't believe that A.J. Dillon is going to play. I just don't think that that's realistic for a player that plays his position. If he was a left guard, club it up and get out there. That's fine. I would also say this. Jaden Reed is a different cat. Like he's beat up, and I do worry about his durability long term because, as you stated, those guys that play the slot, we saw it with Cobb during his career. They even now, even in a softer, kinder, more gentle NFL, those guys still get hit a lot, and they're not huge dudes. And so he's dealt with a chest injury, he's dealt with an ankle injury, now he's got a toe injury, but he hasn't missed a game. And I do think that he has a football acumen mentally that allows him, unlike many young players, to be able to absorb the game plan without actually practicing. I bet he probably does a little bit today, and I bet he plays. That would be my guess.
What about Jair?
I'm not going to say that Jair's going to play until an inactive list comes out without him on it. So he's, again, limited all week. But I just, someday, and there's nobody, with the stakes, I've got a few people in the building that tell me the truth. Someday somebody's going to tell me what really has gone on and just the level of frustration that people in the building have felt. But I still keep going back to this. And I have no indication this has changed. I mean, Jair himself answered when I said, do you get any sense that Matt's frustrated with you not being able to play through this? Because he sure seems frustrated at the podium when we talked to him. And his answer was, Matt and I don't really talk that much. Which, again, that to me was a tell. So take that for what it's worth.
So if Joe Barry is resigned, do you think that Matt LaFleur has made up his mind whether or not Barry is coming back in 24?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like what if, and I know, you've got a rookie quarterback who has really struggled. You've got a backup quarterback or third string quarterback, right, in Minnesota. And you've got Justin Fields who, let's be honest, you ate his lunch in the opener. What if they play really, really good defensive football against limited offenses? They win their last three, they make the playoffs, and then they go into a playoff game against Detroit or Philly or whoever, and, they probably don't win, but their defense plays well. And he sits down with Joe Barry after the season, and yes, I am delighting in this because I know you're starting to squirm in your seat, even though I don't have the video on. And he decides, hey, let's make some structural changes. Let's make some, scheme tweaks. Let's incorporate some other stuff. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. I think Matt LaFleur knows that that's most likely the final outcome. I don't think he's made up his mind. I don't think Matt operates that way.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a very Merry Christmas with your family, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Gabe just wants me off the air after saying that now.
Yeah. Hang up the phone, Jason. Get out of here.
Okay.
You're no longer welcome.
Bah humbug. Get the bleep out of here.
If you're looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out, guys, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. They specialize in artisanal American cuisine. What does that mean? Sometimes I go, what? Artisanal American cuisine. You know what it is? Really good, delicious, satisfying food. That's why you should take your friends when they're coming in from out of town this holiday season to Aria at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Make your plans today to dine at Aria inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria at stkate.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we had an earlier accident northbound 4394 at Beecher. That is now gone. Things moving along just fine through that area. As a matter of fact, most of the area is super light volume right now, so we are in good shape. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, early mist, fog, possibly some showers likely later on, up to about 1/4 inch, a high of 47. Tonight, early showers, patchy fog, low of 41. Weather is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, offering the perfect holiday gift. A memorable experience with the Bartolotta gift cards. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. And happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on selected varieties Coke 6-pack, 0.5-liter bottles, or AHA 8-pack cans, 4 for $17. 8 to 13.1 selected varieties Old Dutch tortilla or Ripple chips, 2 for $5.50. 12-ounce selected varieties Cremette egg noodles, $1.99. 43.5 to 50-ounce selected varieties Purex laundry detergent, $3.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Q Club of Wisconsin is the hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
Gary, we have so much going on. We're still the place to be on game days to catch the green and gold. Book a holiday party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Plus, we got great live music every Saturday night. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where you know we pile it high.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out qclubofwisconsin.com.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Tito's handmade vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
I am so impressed with Jordan Love, and I think Packers fans should feel so good about Jordan Love.
Fridays with Mo.
I think Rodgers never spoke out and was direct, and Giannis should be praised for being clear so that everyone knows, hey, Giannis told the organization what he wanted.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the...
I haven't got to talk to Craig Karmazin in months, I tell ya. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning.
Good to hear your
Welcome
voice.
back.
Yeah, I've
Welcome
texted
back
with
to
you a few
Friday.
times. Thank you very much. I've texted with you a few times here and there about various things, but it is nice to talk with you on the phone here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We got a lot of stuff to get to. First, I want to talk about firing people. Is that hard?
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about that Chewy made an appearance at 5
Did you?
I was going to let him handle that. I didn't want to steal his
Okay.
story.
Did you stay for the whole game?
Of course.
Okay. I left.
It was a good game. Nobody left
Very good
early
game.
for that.
But
Nobody.
But
Be
Craig,
careful with the
and Craig came
absolutes.
over.
Yes.
Craig came over to say hello, which was very nice. But Craig, my seats are better than yours. I understand that you're the mayor of Milwaukee and you got to get votes, so you got to be seen. But you must admit our seats were better than yours.
Wait, what do you think he does?
He pretty much did a lap around the whole court, shaking hands, kissing babies. And
Are
it was
you
nice that
running
he
for
stopped it.
office?
I am not.
Okay.
And you and our buddy Brian Burns are the two people I went to see on the little walk and, his wife Toya. So I knew that if I didn't go visit Chewy in the first half, that I was going to risk not seeing him because you never know with Chewy when he's going to leave a game.
Fair.
Wait, so you went in the first quarter, right?
I went right when I saw him. So
They tipped the ball, and Craig was like, "Gotta go say hi to you," because you never know.
Wonderful
and then
experience.
I heard, they're going to Florida on the 26th, and so I'm like, oh, great. They're going to have the Christmas decorations down on the 24th. They're not even going to have the Christmas decorations up for Christmas.
Christmas Day, we're going to take them down, I think.
And by we, you mean
kids. Why else do you have kids? Put them to work.
If not to grab your brewskis at the Bucks game and to take down the Christmas decorations. All right, Craig, I do want to get back to this because the Packers find themselves in a situation where Joe Barry's defensive unit continues to underperform. We rattled off all the numbers yesterday of where they rank in the league. They've lost 2 games that they probably should have won. They were winnable games, making Tommy DeVito and Baker Mayfield look like, Hall of Famers. So Matt LaFleur has a decision on his hands, and he apparently hasn't made that decision yet. How difficult is it being the guy who has to say, I'm sorry, your services are no longer needed here?
It's just so different, right? Like, so in our company, if you're displaying the core values, like, it's very, very rare that you're going to get fired. So ultimately, like, in our company, I think you fire yourself. Now, we could all say that Joe Barry, if he's going to get fired, has done that. But I think it's a little different because it's, for us, if you're doing the right things, you're doing it in the right way, we'll find the right spot for you. The NFL is just such a different level of results business. But so for me, when I fire someone, it's easy. It is very easy because I feel like the person knows it's coming. They know what they could have done to avoid it, and they didn't. So in my opinion, for me, it's not hard to fire someone.
Yeah, but what if it's a friend? And you have a lot of friends.
It's even easier.
Why?
Because then I'm more annoyed. Because then that they put me in that spot to have to do it, and they knew that what they had to do, and they didn't do it. No, it's even easier.
So sympathy doesn't matter because Joe Barry was clearly, I think he was trying to play the sympathy card yesterday. That doesn't matter at all to you?
No. I mean, I think the NFL is different, right? Like Joe Barry could be putting in all the work, doing all the things, and the defense just isn't there, right? And so they're not firing him this year, right? No one thinks that's happening in the next 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, is it possible? Like if
they lose to Carolina and he gives up 450 yards, yeah,
then
it probably happens. Like something, it would have to take a third straight.
Right, he'd have to get Cosgrove, right? Does anyone get that reference anymore?
My guy Cos at Wisconsin.
Is anyone old enough? Yeah.
I don't know. Gabe
Right?
pulled out a Celtic pride the other day. It feels like this should be right in our wheelhouse. What era are we talking about?
What about Amazing Grace and Chuck? Does anyone know about that?
No, you talk about that all
You
the
talk
time.
about this. Craig talks about this Amazing Grace and Chuck movie all the time. I've never seen it. I've never seen it available. I've never heard anybody else talk about it except for Craig.
Yep. All right. So back to Kevin Cosgrove. He was the Badgers defensive coordinator. He was about to become the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers, and then they gave up 59 points to Indiana. And obviously he wasn't going to get, like, one game can change, where someone's entire career is going to go. I mean, India, yes, if Carolina puts up 40 points and 450 yards, he would get fired.
When you've made up your mind that you're going to let someone go, you do it as soon as possible, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, the only thing I would say is, like, if you made up your mind, like, today, I mean, maybe you wait till after Christmas and New Year's. Like, I mean, I'm saying not in football, but if you're saying, like,
sure.
in, in a situation like that. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's not fair to the person to have them still there if you know they're done.
Yeah,
like,
but
you got to do it.
Based upon what you're saying now, Craig, you would have fired Joe Barry a while ago because he stunk. Not stunk, but he treads water for the last 3 years. He doesn't go anywhere with 9 first-round draft picks. So you would have already fired him.
Yeah, I don't know how they measure his performance, so I don't know. Like, I don't. I'm not qualified to hire or fire a defensive coordinator.
Well, how would you measure his performance?
Look, Craig's got a great point because the numbers were bad last year, right? And he still came back. So it's hard to say what exactly they're doing to measure his success or lack
how
thereof.
many games does the defense have to cost this team before you go, this is not good enough? This is not up to the Packers standard, even in a transition year. See, Tausch made a really interesting point yesterday on his show, Wilde and Tausch, right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, where he was saying that if Matt LaFleur knew that Aaron Rodgers was leaving, if he knew it was a foregone conclusion, he thinks he would have moved on from Joe Barry sooner because he would have known that the identity of the team had to shift. The identity of the team when Rodgers was there was always that they were going to be an offensive juggernaut, and the defense just had to show up, right? Get 11 men out there on the field. Don't screw up too badly. Get back on the sideline. But if Rodgers isn't there, the offense should not be expected to carry the load anymore. The defense would have to, and therefore, Joe Barry's standard of excellence, LOL, would not have gotten the team to where they needed to be, would not have helped them win games. What do you think of that theory?
I think he was convinced by those and I know the Detroit game wasn't great, but like down the stretch last year, the defense was pretty good, right? Like that Minnesota game, they were flying all over.
The Minnesota
they were dominating that game.
Minnesota game, but that's about it. And I guess Detroit didn't really score like a ton of points in the finale. That was more on the offense. But the last two games, you could convince yourself, I guess.
I thought it was like that whole last 4 or 5 games, the defense kind of pulled it together.
Well, because they got lucky that Tua threw for 300 yards in the first half, but then the Dolphins allowed him to play with a concussion, and he started turning the ball over. So they got bailed out because the Dolphins did something reckless.
Yeah, I get the whole takes on like Matt LaFleur's too nice and he didn't want to fire his friend and all that, but I think practically they probably looked at what else was out there and they said, is there anyone who we know we'd be better with? And they chose continuity over it, thinking they had a young defense, an improving team.
I hate that so much.
I don't know.
I know, but Craig, the premise,
hasn't the best player been out the whole year?
The premise of why they bought him back is because he said things were going to be different. Quay Walker's going to be used defensively. We're going to play aggressive. We're going to have exotic. It's the same old crap.
Yeah, and to your point, Craig, about your best player.
We don't even know why he's out.
Your best player, quite famously, doesn't like your defensive coordinator.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who you're asking me to do. I said I don't know how to hire or fire a defensive coordinator. I don't think that's my job. I mean, I think I'm the mayor, right?
Well,
okay, take your managerial hat off then. Just as a fan of the franchise, as a fan of what this team you hope can accomplish, are you fed up? Are you ready to move on defensively?
I mean, I thought so little of this year that to me, like, I'd rather, like, I don't care how many games they win this year, and they lose an extra game or two, they end up with a better draft pick. Do I want him to be the defensive coordinator if I want the Packers to win games next year? No. But I've never thought this year was about anything else other than figuring out if Jordan loves the guy, and I believe he is. So I still believe this year is an overwhelming success.
Yes.
But
not overwhelming.
Unless
they bring him back.
Unless they bring back
Yeah.
Joe Barry.
I mean, you guys, Craig fired a guy who won a championship 3 years ago.
Oh, you're talking about the Bucks?
The
You're
Bucks.
talking about-
Yeah. I'm like,
right?
Well, first of all,
Yeah. And I think when you look at what happened with Coach Bud, you look at how very specifically the postseason performance was not matching the regular season performance. And if your goal is to win a championship, you had to believe as an organization that things were going to change. And I think the belief was, hey, there's nothing we know that why next season, postseason would be different when we're continuing to underperform our regular season.
You just made my point. Can the dude like tuna?
let me ask you this, Craig. Do you think Bryce Young will be the NFC Offensive Player of the Week next week?
I mean, I couldn't believe. I mean, even last week when they won a game, I mean, they play with him so conservatively, and I have really high hopes for Bryce Young. I can't believe what he is and how bad their offense is. I mean, that's why I said it. I would never, ever, ever consider firing Joe Barry in season at this point. But I mean, if they put up 30 points, I mean, I think that's got to be it.
well, if you actively see the defense quitting, right? Like if you actively see that, the way that the Chargers quit on national television on their head coach, like then I think that's, and you haven't seen that because the effort was still there. Rudy Ford almost caused a fumble on the goal line in the last touchdown. So you still see that effort. You don't see them.
See,
quitting.
I almost think the other way, Gabe, because I think if the effort's there and you give up 30 points to Carolina, you're like, wait.
Then it has
our
to be
guys
scheme.
are trying. We have all this talent. There's got to be something wrong with this scheme, right?
Oh, yeah. But I also think there's a talent issue, but that's not for today.
So you want to fire Goody?
Well, I don't want to fire Goody. I'm just pointing out that some of these first-round picks probably aren't as good as we want them to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Packers win, and we're going to have 2 games against divisional opponents, and all of a sudden we're going to be like, wow, this team has a chance to be over 500, which nobody thought coming into this year. So I still think they win this week, and the next 2 weeks are going to be really interesting.
Greg, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Happy holidays to you and your family, and we'll talk to you again soon.
To you all as well, thanks.
He's Craig Karmazin, joins us every single week. When's the last time I talked to Craig? It's like August? Like August?
Probably.
Maybe September?
I feel like maybe there was no, there wasn't a random Friday where you were here.
I was in Jacksonville that one Friday
when
I was off of game day. Anywho, good to hear from Craig. Good to chat with Craig.
I am a little nervous about.
You want him to lose.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I want this team to win out and make the playoffs. I don't want Joe Barry here next year. Like it's a terrifying spot to be in. And I am a little nervous about losing to the Panthers. And maybe it's just because they've lost the last 2 games.
And you were nervous about them losing to the Giants. You were the only one who was nervous about them losing to the Giants.
It just
turns out you were right.
I mean, the Panthers can't move the ball. And the guys can't get open.
Easy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they can't.
Are you going to laugh if they do?
No, not even a little laugh.
You'll cry?
I'll probably laugh.
I laughed a little last week. I'm not going to laugh.
No, I didn't laugh last week. I'd probably have to laugh to prevent myself from crying if they lose on Sunday.
Is Joe Barry's take on we were trying to stop Mike Evans an antiquated one in the NFL? It feels to me like, yes, you want to try to stop opponents' primary offensive weapon, but the league is too good now. I feel like most teams have better than average talent at the other pass catching positions. And if you, again, give them that sort of cushion, they can make plays. They can move the chains. No matter if it's Mike Evans or what was the dude's name from the Buccaneers several years ago who burned us? Scotty Miller. Yeah, it was Scotty Miller.
We're not going to cover him.
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hey, look, I'm just glad that he realized that there are things that he could do to stop the run. I mean, it took 2 3/4 years, but, I'm just glad he finally recognized, hey, maybe there are things we can do to actually stop the run.
They tell us that children learn at different stages. It takes, don't compare your 5-year-old to another 5-year-old. They learn. Differently.
Learning curve's just a little bit different. Get perked up. Let me tell you guys about Perky's Old Fashioned. It's the old fashioned mix with the booze already inside. Brandy bourbon for a limited time. Cranberry brandy options. Get Grandma Perky's secret wherever, whenever. And it's great because all you have to do is add the soda. You're probably going to be getting together with some family or friends over the next couple of days. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to regret getting the cranberry brandy option. It's easy to find as well. Go to perkysoldfashioned.com. There you can see the different stores, the different places where you can get it, and they even have a separate search function where you can see if that store does indeed have the cranberry brandy option. Perky's Old Fashioned, locally made, Wisconsin made. It's your bartender in a bottle.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
Everyone's using Daniel Jones as why Jordan Love's going to get paid all that money. I think it's the opposite. I think it's what you just hit.
Right.
I think that it's more of like, hey, be careful. Don't just jump into paying someone unless you're sure.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Is that how you manage?
That is not how you manage, but that might be the way that the Green Bay Packers organization goes about their business.
It's the way the Green Bay Packers.
We know they go about their business like that.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
Guten Tag! Matt and Katie here from Milwaukee Pretzel Company.
This holiday season, we would love for you to try one of our favorite holiday traditions, the pretzel wreath.
It's a 1-pound braided pretzel ring complete with a pretzel bone.
And each order is made fresh and can be sent anywhere in the country. A great way to share a piece of Milwaukee with the people you love.
We deliver locally, too, so order one for yourself.
Find all of our holiday gift packs at MilwaukeePretzel.com.
And may you have a blessed and delicious holiday season.
Wait, no dad joke?
It's a new clause in my contract.
Wow.
Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Then make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. Join them on Sundays for the restaurant's famous trademark chicken, served family style with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Make your plans today to dine at Aria. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria@stkate.com.
Come to Fiserv Forum to see the resurgent Wisconsin Badgers on December 28th and 29th in the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. See how Coach Hastings has rebuilt the Badgers into a national power. Get your tickets now to see the Badgers battle the Air Force Falcons in primetime on day one. The excitement continues with perennial power and 3-time national champion Minnesota Duluth playing the Northeastern Huskies in the other semifinal. Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Get your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
Circus Sports is now available at American Place. Bet on your favorite Milwaukee and Wisconsin teams, from Wisconsin football and basketball to all the Milwaukee basketball action, as well as more games nationwide. The Circus Sportsbook at American Place has 36 TVs, so you won't miss any of the action. And it's just 30 minutes from Kenosha and 45 minutes from Racine. For more information and to find out about their events, go to circusports.com. All Circus Sports bets must be placed in Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234.
Discount Liquor Christmas Week is here on 94.5 ESPN. Our friends at Discount Liquor have over 14,000 varieties of beer, liquor, and wine in stock. Discount Liquor brings the selection, everyday low prices, expert service, and the convenience of 2 locations. It is the perfect spot to find that drink for your Christmas gathering. Stop by 51st and Oklahoma in Milwaukee and in downtown Waukesha at Main and Barstow. Discount Liquors is a locally family-owned and operated business. Merry Christmas from Discount Liquor.
I'm Dr. Chris Walsh from the Metropolitan Urology Group, where our board-certified physicians treat a wide range of men's health issues, from prostate symptoms to erectile dysfunction. A majority of treatments can be done in the office or as an outpatient. Don't play games with your health. Call us today at 414-476-0430.
Go Urology, Metro Urology. Real doctors, real solutions.
Learn more at gourology.com.
Jeff Sports invites you to stop in for your sports memorabilia fix. Jeff Sports is a family-owned business with over 43 years of experience. Jeff Sports has a huge selection of autographed sports memorabilia and sports cards. They also offer custom framing with all framing done in-house.
it does.
Ask about their sports auction consignment program. It's simple and has a 100% no-risk guarantee. For more info, go to jeffsports.com or stop by 14165 West Capitol Drive in Brookfield. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Visit jeffsports.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's 2 things she counts in the house. One of the pictures. What do you think the other one is?
Firearms.
Viagra.
On 94.5 ESPN.
How about boss man Ashy back there
He's
getting
really
in our
bothering me
ear?
today.
Oh, you're such
I was
a
kind of
wimp.
excited.
This is
'cause I went
classic
to the
NFL
game.
boy. Josh was so right.
10:30 went to bed, which is 3 hours later than I normally go. But I'm like, Ashton will carry the
Wait,
weight.
you're going to bed at
all we hear
7:30?
all day since he's been here in my ear. The clock, the clock, the clock.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe if you guys followed the clock, nobody would have to.
We
remind
were
you.
told we
You
don't
were
have
not
to follow
told
the
that.
clock
I was
anymore.
on these meetings.
You were not in my meeting. Yes, you were in my meeting.
I was in all these meetings.
No. To be honest, he wasn't. It was Brian in my meeting and Scal's in
But
my
I
meeting.
know the
You
meeting.
popped
Trust
into the
me.
meeting for a moment. We were told we don't have to worry about the clock anymore.
Yes.
That's not. There
Craig
are
said
more
that.
specifics in it that people listening
Still
don't
nervous.
care about.
And also, you told me this morning in our production meeting when I was talking about something else unrelated, but I'm going to use it
Right,
as a
correct,
defense in this
unrelated.
situation.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, let's see. Go
That
ahead.
there are no rules.
Oh, dear Lord, there are rules.
She definitely told me that
Why
there were
would
no
you
rules.
say that?
Well, I don't know if you were listening to her 5 seconds before she just lied.
It was
saying
unrelated. I didn't
it was
lie about anything.
unrelated, and
I
it was
said it was
contextual
unrelated.
information. You're all out of control. Josh is under for the next week. He's out.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're not
going
gonna
to
be here.
Yeah, so what do you care?
Who's
Oh,
here?
I'm so worried.
Max.
Max, I love Max.
It's not Max's fault. Max is going to try his best too.
Poor
But no.
Max. He has no idea.
As long as Jen
what
doesn't
he's
yell at him again.
getting himself into.
That was great. I love it.
I swear, if he quits
You
after next
suck.
week because you, so
I
what?
used to
You
like
do
you a
too,
little bit on
big
the radio,
baby.
but
You're
now
such
you're just
a whiner.
annoying. You're still a wuss.
You miss me,
You're my
don't you?
boss, but
You
you
miss
don't
me.
act like my boss.
I'm not your boss.
Is he my boss?
He's your boss.
God.
Technically.
I'm not.
Are you the executive producer of the show?
Just out of curiosity.
That's your title.
Are you
I'm
the
giving it up.
executive wuss of the station?
Yes. You know who's number 2 though? Number 2 what's to the station?
What?
You look in a mirror.
Me?
That's usually what that means. Yeah.
I'm not a wuss. I'm an idiot, but I'm not a wuss. Can we call the blammer?
No.
Let's just not. It'll be entertaining.
Yeah, but I
know.
You can't trust him.
We could call. We could pretend to call, and Gabe could pretend to be him.
Good idea.
We roll on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. No rules. Right after this.
No.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we had an earlier accident northbound 4394 at Beecher. That is now gone. Things moving along just fine through that area. As a matter of fact, most of the area is super light volume right now, so we are in good shape. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, early mist, fog, possibly some showers likely later on, up to about 1/4 inch, a high of 47. Tonight, early showers, patchy fog, low of 41. Weather is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, offering the perfect holiday gift. A memorable experience with the Bartolotta gift cards. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. And happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
We're about to tell you what we've chosen to be the 2023 WOW Collection at Kessler's.
And all I can say is wow.
$898 buys her a pair of exotic inside-out diamond hoop earrings. 1 carat total weight of newborn created diamonds.
Inside out diamond hoops. Wow.
Another $898 buys her a tennis bracelet that will circle her wrist with glittering diamonds.
If you want that 1 carat tennis bracelet but with natural diamonds, it's just $15.98. Wow.
A 1/4 carat diamond cluster pendant dripping with natural diamonds, just $598.
We believe these are the lowest diamond prices we'll see in our lifetime.
4 carats total weight.
Did you say 4 carats?
I did indeed.
It's a wow engagement ring with 2 wedding bands that will fill any room with hot points of light like a disco ball.
4 carats total weight, just $3,998.
Wow.
Find the Kessler's nearest you
And see our extended holiday hours
at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Lake Geneva.
Okay.
Y'all been there?
Yeah.
They have a chainmail store where it's super cool. They got the tassely things for girls.
Guys, I figured a real dodgeball team needs real dodgeball uniforms. And so I threw out those old ratty ones and designed these myself.
And the lady comes over to me and they had a thong chainmail thing.
I hope everything fits. Wait. Nice. This isn't right. This isn't what I ordered.
So the lady was selling me hard because it looked cool and how to...
we're talking about a medieval thong? Is that what we're talking about right now?
It was a medieval thong.
ADAA rules require we wear matching uniforms. Well, I don't think they require assless chaps, okay?
And she's like pushing. Your wife will love it, this and that. And I didn't want to buy it, so I just went, they're used. Forget about it.
You must be daddy. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like...
I want to get back to this Joe Barry sound from yesterday, but before we do that, guys, I'm working on a 12 Days of Christmas Jen, Gabe, and Chewy version. You know, like when Taylor has her Taylor's version, this is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy's version of the 12 Days of Christmas. But I want all the things to be Jen, Gabe, and Chewy related, right? So I got some things I'm working on here. I got clunkers on the list, right?
Sure.
2023, hopefully, the 2023 version, right?
Yeah.
So things for, like, we could talk about snake sausage, but that was last year. That was an old era. We're talking about this era. Joe Barry Carroll's on the list. 6 words you can't say. Although Ashton contends it's many more than 6.
It's a lot more.
How about bets we won't pay? Well, that's a thing here on the show. Although Chewy did wear the thong.
Well, that's what I'm
and
saying.
speaking of thongs, is that thong's just going to hang out there on the ledge from when I slingshot it over there yesterday?
Probably.
Like, that might be an HR violation. We should probably remove the thong from the studio when other shows.
Used underwear.
Looks like
It's
a
just
Band-Aid.
underwear. Yeah. Just
It looks like a jockstrap is what it looks like.
I mean, so is the number one, is it in a thong flossing Chewy's butt cheeks?
I could put it on there. I have and a win in the we can reach you.
I like the thong in Chewy's butt cheeks better. I feel it's more us.
And a thong between Chewy's butt cheeks.
No, and a thong flossing Chewy's butt cheeks.
I can put that as
The
number
visual of Raleigh fingers in a mask is so good.
I'll write it down. I like thong flossing Chewy's butt cheeks.
I was so happy to put my underwear on yesterday. I really was.
I bet you were. You're trying to tell me it's comfortable. It's not that comfortable.
It's just more protected.
Yeah.
Am I right? I mean, I wouldn't know. I would assume yes.
But the good thing about Gabe is he doesn't have to jump off the bridge to know that he'll die.
Yeah.
Like he just.
Ash, you want to take a run at it?
No, I'm good. I'm not dumb like you.
I can look at something and go, yeah, that doesn't look like it'd be comfortable.
I put blue pills on the list. 3 blue pills.
That's a lot.
At one time? Yeah. You'd be pounding nails for a while.
Jesus.
Just in general.
You can say that.
I didn't want to
know,
go
but it's
more
still
than
not good.
3. And I got clunkers as being 2 has got the clunkers.
2 clunkers, yeah.
Okay. I like and a thong flossing Chewy's butt cheeks for number 1. But I need our loyal listeners' help. 800-990-3776. Literally thought the Blammer was joining the show, says Matt. Must have been because your
No, he
impression.
just couldn't make it today.
Couldn't make it today. What else? So Chewyisms. I got some Chewyisms on here. Like I said, bets we won't pay. Although, like I said, Chewy did pay off his bet. Listen, I need the loyal listeners' assistance.
Can we tie Schnefty into this?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of different things we could get him in. I mean, we got to figure out a way to get the picture.
Yes,
involved.
but then you know what ends up happening? Every single one is a
Becomes
Chewy.
Chewy. Yeah,
It's
well,
like
I mean,
Chewy.
So then we turned it to the 12 Days of Chumis.
Could do that. If we get enough Chewy suggestions, we'll turn it into the 12 Days of Chumis.
I mean, that's a working title. We can come up with something
Yeah.
better.
That's front row.
Yeah, you don't like front row. Sixth row.
I like sixth row.
Yeah, so he's happy with about 6 of them being about him.
There you go. There's 6 is gone.
All right, let's get to that Joe Barry sound. Yesterday, Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers, took to the podium, stepped in front of a microphone to talk about how challenging these last few weeks have been for him and others. Take a listen.
Losing sucks. I mean, always. But, yeah, I'd be lying to you if this, it was... This week particular was hard. It was hard on me, hard on my family. But that's, this is the National Football League. This is what you sign up for. So this is, what's the saying, no crying in spilt milk, or over spilt milk. So, I mean, you deal with it. We had a bad game. I have to be better for our guys completely. And I put that on me all the time. Anytime we don't go play well, it's on me. So, but yeah, this week was in particularly hard, to be honest with you.
My first takeaway was he's as good at metaphors and phrases as we are. No crying in spilt milk.
Nailed it.
No crying in baseball might have been it. No crying over spilt milk, but I suppose you can jam the two together. Chew, your reaction to his comments about the tough time he's having this week and last.
Look, I feel bad for the guy, and he's probably a very nice guy, right? Nice guy. But at the end, I really don't care. That's why you're paid $2 million or $3 million or whatever you're being paid. You're being paid to succeed. And just like we say, sometimes a coach isn't a very good head coach, but a very good coordinator. Mm-hmm. This may be... You're not a very good coordinator, but you're an okay position coach. I just see too many mistakes out there. I see too many. You don't know what your players can do well and not do well. And he just seems like he's in over his skis. Did I get that one right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a fair question, Gabe.
No, hey. I'm glad he had the self-awareness to ask.
It's horrible, all players and coaches accept that because a lot of guys have kids in school, and in today's world, kids can be nasty, but that's what you sign up for. You're signing up for this, and it is what it is, man. You stink. You're not good.
I mean,
you've never really been good.
You're not the first defensive coordinator with kids, and you're not the first defensive coordinator who has had a bad season or a bad game that the kids then heard about it at school. Like, is it an unfortunate part of the job? Yes, but it is a part of the job.
Yes.
So I don't know by bringing it up if you're trying to garner more sympathy. I'm not sure what the point of bringing that up and bringing your family into it is.
I think his problem is, and I think what everyone wants is the defensive coordinator that lined up against the Kansas City Chiefs. But it's just not in his DNA. His default switch is, okay, we're supposed to win this game. Let's just not lose the game. But you're losing the game, right? In order to be successful, I think, in this league, as a GM, as a head coach, as a coordinator, is you got to be willing to take chances where you might get fired. Because if you don't, you're going to get fired, right? Sometimes you just got to put it out there. That's the kind of coordinator we want here. All right, you got toasted for 80. Who gives a crap? Come back and still be aggressive. Don't you guys want an aggressive defensive coordinator? And you saw that against the Kansas City Chiefs. You're like, wow, I'll take this defense all day long.
I think the defenses that end up ultimately having the most success in the NFL, and it's tough, and that's what ultimately becomes really tough about being a coordinator, is the ones that can force turnovers. And you can only do that by being aggressive. Now, you end up giving up a big play, but in today's NFL, where you got to be able to move the ball, stealing a possession because you have a corner or safety that jumps around, or a guy that can get to the quarterback and force the strip sack, those type of plays are the ones that can flip the game on its head and turn it into your favor.
And that's why I think people are seeing Al Harris do what he's doing with the Dallas Cowboys, where his unit has been able to force turnovers, which is something that Al was pretty good at during his time as a Green Bay Packer as well. And you get excited about that, right? You see somebody who obviously is putting guys in the right position, putting guys in spots to opportunistic, take the ball away. This reminds me, Chew, though, when I think about how to run a defense or scheme a defense, it reminds me of gambling at the slot machine. Okay? Minimum bet, maximum bet, Max, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a feel for when, and I'm not saying I know how the slot machine works. My whole point is you can't just
If you do, like,
Yeah, I'll share it with you. You can't just max bet the whole time, right? Because your money's going to be gone like that. That's a losing mentality. You also can't minimum bet the whole time because when you do finally hit, the payout's not going to be big enough. But if you can find that rhythm of like minimum betting, maximum betting, that to me feels like a good strategy defensively, Chew. And how does that relate to defense? It's when you're taking those risks. It's when you're being aggressive. It's when you're choosing to blitz. Although I still think they should have been blitzing the crap out of Tommy DeVito as a young quarterback, as a guy who's new in the league. You're trying to make him as uncomfortable as possible without compromising your backside defense.
So do I agree with that? Yes. But the reason why they ultimately didn't, to me, is the bigger issue. Because it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing that happened this past Sunday against the Buccaneers.
Which is?
The game plan wasn't to blitz Tommy DeVito because that was a bad offensive line that had given up 69 sacks. And then when you weren't getting the pressure with 4, you didn't make the adjustment to then bring more players. Whereas the game plan this last week was, well, we're going to play a bunch of zone because that slows Mike Evans down. But now Chris Godwin's running all over your defense.
And that's what I was saying.
You don't make that adjustment.
And that's what I was saying. To me, that's an antiquated theory. That's an antiquated scheme to think, let's just shut down their number one wide receiver. Because offenses, again, as the league continues to evolve to a more offensive, favorable space, teams have good guys at the other positions. And if you do take away their number one receiver, it's not like those guys are a bunch of bums. They can make plays. They can move the chains. And that's what happened there with a Godwin.
Well, and Godwin's really good, too.
He's really good, even though he had been really held in check this season.
We can't just look at the linebackers and defensive backs because it's like Rashard Gary, who's being paid as one of the best in this league. Dude, where are you? Yeah. And you said it. Most of his sacks came in 3 games.
2 games.
2 games.
3 and 3?
2 3-sack games. He's got 9 sacks total.
Kenny Clark, you're supposed to be the guy. Well, you don't play every week. Preston Smith, where have you been? When's the last time he had a sack? When's the last time they had whoa, they cannot block him. They need to help him out. I'm with you. I'm starting to look at the talent on this team and be like, all right, Barry, you got a lot of blame.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Your picks aren't the greatest. And that's the problem because we talk about, LaFleur, our scheme's great, but the players stink. And the Goody's like, hey, our players are great, but the scheme.
You know what we call that, Chew?
Dysfunction?
No, Gabe. What do we call that, Gabe? What do we call it, Gabe? What do we call it?
I really want to say it. Just
telling me, I'll say it.
She said she had so much fun when she said it earlier in the week.
Circle.
That's right. A blame. That's what it is. That's what it is. He's a jerk. No, he's the jerk. No, he's the jerk. No, he's the jerk.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're not allowed to say it. I learned that earlier this week, but it's the circle of blame.
Yes. You're right. With Viagra on it.
Well, mine didn't involve that.
If it lasts more than 4 hours, I guess consult your doctor.
I wanted to hear from the doctor. That's Brian Bulaga, right? He's the doctor, or is he the farmer?
He's
I can
the
never
doctor of
remember.
football.
He's the doctor of football. He had a great take yesterday. I thought it was so interesting that he was talking about how he didn't think that Barry should have been allowed to mention his family. He thought that was crossing the line. I do want to hear from that when we get back. But before we do, let me tell you about Great Midwest Bank. They are grateful to have been a part of the greater Milwaukee community since 1935. That's the year Chewy was born. 1935.
Old as hell. Yeah, I agree with that. Boom, roasted.
As a local community-owned bank, Great Midwest Bank is run by those who live right here in your community. That's why investing in our community is so important to them. Volunteering at local nonprofit organizations, making sure they offer products tailored to families with the dream of becoming homeowners in Wisconsin. Community is fundamental to who Great Midwest Bank is. Whether you're looking to open a new checking account or planning to buy a new home in the new year, consider my friends at Great Midwest Bank a bank that puts community first. Learn more on their website, greatmidwestbank.com, greatmidwestbank.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Nice and quiet around the whole area. Not seeing any delays right now or incidents up on the board. Traffic is brought to you by Evans Transportation in Delafield, where they provide customized logistics solutions to keep you and your business moving forward. Check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early mist or fog, some showers likely. A high of 47. Tonight, early showers, a chance for patchy fog, a low of 41. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Untethered, unfiltered, and unbothered.
I waited till there was about 5 minutes left in my drive to make that call. I made the call and she said, "Baby, what's wrong?"
Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, and sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And I said, the explicitive Packers is wrong. That's what's wrong.
Weekdays from 2 to 5, right here on 94.5 ESPN. And subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, this is Gary Ellison for my good friends at the Jewelry Center. It's the only place I go when I'm looking to get some new jewelry. Dean and his team are always friendly and know just what I'm searching for when I stop by. I may not always know what type of jewelry I want, but the professionals there sure do. Plus, if I need repairs on watches or other jewelry, the Jewelry Center does that too. Find the Jewelry Center in Burlington, Brookfield, and Greenfield, or shop their entire collection online, including their popular Lightbox lab-grown diamonds at shoptjc.com.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? Fifth Third offers unmatched expertise and flexibility when creating ESOP solutions. From full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X-Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X-Golf's full bar and food menus. Stop in to grab a gift card for the perfect stocking stuffer, too. X-Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA pro. Everyone is welcome at X-Golf AmFam. Book your sim today. XGolfAmFamField.com. I'll see you out there.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But she doesn't know. Every now and then, I got the blammer coming up and like, I'll let you use my tractor for 2 of the blue things. Which I think's a pretty good deal. Which gets me in trouble.
You got a Viagra ring?
On 94.5 ESPN.
So get it on me. I just wanna see.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here on the final day before the Christmas break. No senioritis here. Joshua's off. You said yesterday he had the bleep-its real bad. So much so.
They started creeping in on Wednesday and really took over yesterday.
So much so that he didn't even do a "we can reach you." He just goes, bleep it. Well, not even going to do it.
Not my problem.
Not my problem. Should we get to this Brian Bulaga sound, Ashy?
I think it's good.
I think it's good, too. So let's hear from Brian Bulaga, who was on the Homer Hour yesterday. We played for you in the previous segment Joe Barry's reaction to the criticism he has been getting, to the comments about him being fired, to the desire of some from the fan base for him to be fired. And here's what Brian Bulaga had to say about Joe Barry's comments.
when you get into the NFL, the business of the NFL, player, coach, GM, upper management, whatever, you already know. You have this conversation with your family, your friends, people that you're close to. You're going to hear things. You're going to see things. I'm not going to be perfect on the field or coaching or doing whatever 100% of the time. It's never going to be perfect. And people aren't going to like that. And they're going to tweet things or say things to you, or you're going to read things that aren't great. But never would I personally, listen, I was never a perfect Green Bay Packer. I wasn't perfect every game. No, not even close. But never would I have gone to say, and which I'm going to tell Jason Wilde when he comes on, never would I go to Jason the week after I had a bad game and go, man, Jason, what I've had over the last, week has been tough on my family and I. Never. I would never go there because I want to separate my family from what I do in that building. They are two separate entities, and I don't want anyone to think that is saying negative things potentially to my family or to my wife or to my brother or to my sister or mom and dad, that is getting back to me and that's affecting me. Because that's the last thing that I want anyone to know is that I'm being affected by family pressure at home, that we're getting negative comments and we're reading. It's so, to me, it's just crossing a line that you don't do. You just don't bring that up to the media. And I didn't like that at all.
Kind of like church and state, keep the two separate, because it does sound like you're looking for sympathy and stuff. And I mean, I get it because I've been in it, but people don't care. Just win football games. Everyone knows you're going to make mistakes, and everyone knows you're going to have clunkers every now and then. But this, it's guy's been given a pass for a long time.
As a storyteller by trade, I appreciate that vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate people saying this is what is hard about what is happening. I think there's a time and a place for it. I think you overcome the adversity. You turn it around. You go somewhere and you have success. You win. You have a winning scheme. You have your defense that's in the top 5 of the league. And then you can talk about how that stretch was really difficult. And you can go layer by layer, right? It was hard for me because I questioned my own ability, It was hard for my family because they were hearing the rumor. That's when those details of the story, I feel like, are more relevant. Am I wrong in that, Gabe? Of
No.
When you're in it, and it's your own thing, right? You're the guy in the hot dog costume. No one wants to hear about how hard your own ineptitude has been on your family.
When I hear Brian talk about that, it's up to the individual player how much they want their family to be involved. Because the first thing I thought of was Brett. And Brett involved his family in his story in Green Bay a lot. Whether it was Irv, whether it was his mom, obviously Deanna, those
They
people
involve themselves a lot too.
Well, but
Yeah.
Brett had a certain vulnerability that endeared him to Packer fans.
Mhm.
So when Deanna went through her breast cancer or Irv passed, as a fan, you feel that sympathy for Brett because he had opened up about his family previous to that.
But it was unrelated to struggles. That was the challenge.
Correct.
Right? Those things were things that happened. And because you feel a relationship and a kinship and a rapport with that player and there's a connectivity there, then it feels more authentic.
Yes.
Is that it? Because it's happening in the moment. It's not, we stink. Y'all know we stink. And you guys calling me out on me stinking has been really hard on my family.
Correct.
Well, it's like Devondre Campbell's statement, too. You know what I mean? It's like I played when I shouldn't have played. I didn't give a crap if I missed blocks. I was out there because of my guys, because there is a disappointment in the locker room, And that is maybe the toughest thing about playing football, is being out. At least it was when I played.
Sure.
Being out for 4 weeks. And then you kind of get isolated. You kind of get put in the corner, and you're like, man, I feel like I'm letting. I don't think there's that guilt anymore. Because when he comes out and says, I'm not playing unless I'm 100%, I'm like, why the hell would you want this guy as a teammate? Whose back do you have? You have your back first, and then your teammates after the fact?
How much of the calculation when you played when you were hurt was trying to figure out what percentage you needed to be at in order to help the team versus hurt the team? Where Jeff Thomason would have been better off playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How much of that was, you're okay, I'm about 83% and that's good enough. Or really, if it was any percent was good enough, you wanted to be out there for your guys.
I probably played a few times where I should have let Jeff play. looking back now,
Yeah.
but I had just tremendous guilt of, I don't like silent treatment, Silent treatment's the worst. And it's like...
Taking notes, Ashley?
Sounds like a trauma response to me.
And that's the guys I played with harbored so much guilt. Like Reggie White, when he tore his hamstring, and God came down and healed it. If that was today's game, he would have been done for the year. Wouldn't even thought of playing. But it was in our day. It was just that guilt. That guilt was horrible, terrible.
That story had to make the 30 for 30, right?
I haven't watched the whole thing.
You
I'm
gotta
about
watch it
this
40
weekend.
minutes in.
Where he just scares the crap out of Holmgren when he showed up, saying that God had healed his hamstring.
Yeah. He almost got in a fight. That was bad. We were at the Pro Bowl, and Charles Haley just picking. Remember the defensive end for Dallas?
From the Cowboys.
Picking at him. And Reggie was about to hear, because I could see it in his eyes, and he was ready to kill Charles, to where someone said, enough, okay, because this is going to get real ugly.
Of the people, and I guess maybe this goes counter, because, every once in a while I jab at you, but I don't think Reggie White's the one I would want to, jab at to try to get mad at me.
But didn't he have a reputation of being kind of like a teddy bear? Like in the part of the documentary that I've seen, when he's with his kids, he is like
Reggie was
the
hilarious.
sweetest. He's playing with them, and his wife even says, Sarah says, he was so lovable and so.
I mean, he had his moments too.
Sure,
he had his moments.
I mean, you almost have to be in the NFL,
right?
But he was hilarious. Him holding court and Brett holding court. I mean, it was just wonderful. But Reggie would pick too, when he picked on Wayne Simmons for wearing the wooden clogs in the locker room. And that got a little out of control. That was wonderful.
Do you think any of these moments made it into the documentary?
I hope so.
I should have called you.
I hope so. There was one time we were on a plane down to Tampa Bay, and I think we were going 2 nights before the game, and we are in the middle of a thunderstorm. Planes going everywhere, and all of a sudden everyone started going up and sitting on Reggie. He's like, "Don't be sitting next to me. None of you guys are at chapel the night before. Get out of here."
I don't know that aligns with God's teachings.
It's an exclusive club. Haven't you read that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'll watch the rest of the documentary over the Christmas break, and then we'll be able to chit-chat about it with you. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Much more to get to this morning as we are continuing to help send you off into the holiday. Again, we need our 12 days of Christmas. So if you have suggestions, I've got some people weighing in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line 800-990-3776. Somebody said 10 readers scattered. It's fair. I like it.
Before the ball drops, Ewald is dropping the prices. Going on now, it's Ewald's automotive year-end sale event. They're blowing out their inventory before the year-end with low financing and thousands in discounts. You can be shopping for 1,000 vehicles across 10 brands. And of course, they stand by their promise to get you the lowest priced guaranteed. So if you're shopping for a new vehicle, make sure you see Ewald before you make a $2,000 or even a $3,000 mistake. And it's all easy because it's Ewald, and that's what they do for you. Go to ewaldauto.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We are moving along just fine so far this morning. Really not seeing any kind of delays out there. No incidents either. So if you do have to go over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, you will not have a problem if you leave right now. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early mist or fog. Showers are likely up to 1/4 of an inch. A high of 47 tonight. Early showers. Chance for patchy fog. A low of 41. Weather is brought to you by Adams Generators, the #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. Call for your free quote today at 262-944-2010 for power peace of mind, or visit adamspower.com/generators. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Come to Kessler's this Christmas.
You'll get the lowest prices of a lifetime.
And a gift that will last forever.
Put a bigger diamond in her engagement ring.
Or give her a big pair of diamond stud earrings.
The kind that people notice from across the room.
Diamond stud earrings always fit perfectly, and they can be worn with anything.
But diamond earrings always look best when they are worn with a smile.
And with every purchase of at least $298, you'll get a marvelous leather travel case for your jewelry.
Just 4 inches square by 2 inches thick, wonderfully padded and full of perfect little compartments.
You're going to love it.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned diamond company in the world.
Our stores have nearly 9,000 Google reviews.
And each store has a 4.9 star average.
Except for the 2 that have 5 stars.
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
Find the Kessler's nearest you
and see our extended holiday hours
at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on selected varieties Coke 6-pack, 0.5-liter bottles, or AHA 8-pack cans, 4 for $17. 8 to 13.1 selected varieties Old Dutch tortilla or Ripple chips, 2 for $5.50. 12-ounce selected varieties Cremette egg noodles, $1.99. 43.5 to 50-ounce selected varieties Purex laundry detergent, $3.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
Discount liquor.
Did you know that George Washington served his own homemade version of eggnog made with rum, rye whiskey, and sherry? Well, a lot's changed since the days of our first president, but one constant has been celebrating the holiday season and upcoming new year with family, friends, and loved ones. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. 'Tis the season to check out Discount Liquor's tremendous selection of over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines from around the world. And yes, we do carry 8 varieties of ready-to-drink eggnog. Celebrate this most festive time with a great selection of beautifully packaged liquor gift sets, sure to make you the hit of the party or as a perfect gift for the liquor connoisseur on your shopping list. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you know that fact, though?
No, I didn't.
You didn't know that fact? Is that just a fact, Brig?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Chewy does. Chewy knows the most facts of anyone on the show.
He also knows the most fiction.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, little lady, I know you're feeling crazy. All your other friends are busy making them babies. Been out in the real world, don't like how it's tasting. Let me change your mind with my little old saying. 2, 4, 6.
Wishing everyone a very safe travels this holiday season as you go from home to family or family to home. They said that there was 115 million people traveling over the last few days.
Seems high.
Crazy like that. Yeah, it's a lot of people. So just take your time, get there safely, have a good time. We are still taking your suggestions for the 12 Days of Christmas, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy's version. Chef Ed coming through for us, guys. Just absolutely coming through. He's got 12 minutes behind the clock.
Tracks.
Fair. 11 good players on defense. That seems like a lot.
Seems high.
Seems like a lot.
Seems high.
10, Chewy was right.
Seems low.
9 times Jen got caught speeding.
Again, seems low.
Yeah.
8 robots to scare Gabe. Again, these are very good. These are all very relevant to the show. 7 opinions from Wildy. 6 power rankings. 5 times they made me laugh. 4 chances for Joe Barry. 3 Joshyisms. 2 coughing spells by Shefty. And the dental floss between Chewy's butt cheeks.
That's pretty good, Chef Ed.
I kind of like it. Dumpy in West Bend also weighing in saying 5 golden thongs. Now, the thong was famously black.
You just threw that thing away, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's in the bathroom right here.
There are no trash cans in there.
That's a very good point. So you had to take.
There are no. Why aren't there any trash cans in the bathroom?
Because there's nothing in the bathroom that would garner being thrown away.
Spoken like a dude, spoken like a gentleman. I certainly have things sometimes that need to be thrown away, and they don't want me putting it down the plumbing.
I did think of flushing it. But wasn't there a towel?
They
that
would
went
have.
down there
They would have invoiced you so fast.
I would have
for
blamed Ashton.
whatever.
Yeah, when they found the black large thong, I think they would have been able to trace it pretty easily.
Back to us. Scott weighing in saying that the Reggie hamstring story did not make the 30 for 30 for anybody who was hoping that might be in there. And Richard DFEL, though that's Dick from Elkhart Lake, I want to say. We got to put the names back in because we got the new texting system here on the show saying, don't forget top 8 at 8 for the song. And it would have to be how good I am at top 8 at 8.
No, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Hey,
how much you listen during
we did
top 8 at 8.
pretty well yesterday. We did pretty well yesterday. Couldn't
You guys
get the
did,
one.
yes. No,
Couldn't
you
get
guys
the one.
did very well.
Most of that was from Chewy just talking about those players who were on the 96 team. You could sing 5 fine things, Tim Jones weighing in when you get to 5. What does that mean? Fine. Oh, fineable. I'm guessing fineable.
No, I think because Gabe just says that's fine.
Oh, yes. Good call.
That's kind of lame.
It's fine.
You're lame.
Yeah, that one was fine.
It's fine. 800-990-3776, taking your suggestions for our 12 days of Christmas. I will say this, guys. The list has quickly become Chewy heavy. Remember you said we were top heavy the other day, Chew? Which not necessarily a bad thing. This list is Chewy heavy.
Well, I mean, he's character.
I know. He's the star of the show. He's the star of the show. We got Chewy was right on the list. 12 Chewy was rights.
How many Pro Bowl players?
Well, we're not putting on us.
No. No, on
Half
the
a cup.
Packers.
I don't know if they have any.
That's embarrassing.
You got the list?
Well, so this is the best I could find. Tom Pelissero tweeted out the top 10 by position on December 5th. So the top 10 at every position, they only have 2.
That was 2 weeks ago. It's not like it's gotten any better, is my point.
But Rashawn Gary was 8 at outside linebacker, and Keyshawn Nixon was number 2 as return specialist.
Ooh, God, that's brutal.
I don't think they're going to have a Pro Bowl player.
But I don't think they have anybody else who's like...
Zach Tom, you brought up
Yeah,
earlier?
maybe. Like, he's a peripheral one.
What about Jaden Reed?
No.
Nah, he's got no chance.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he's probably the best, most consistent offensive player they have.
And he's got 0... I mean...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What you got the basketball under your arm for?
I don't know. It just showed up in the studio. I assumed it had something to do with
It's a tiny
KVN.
ball.
Yeah.
The fact that you're able to palm
That's
it.
all Giannis was whining about.
Well, it's a 27.5. It's not even like a 28.5, which would be a regulation women's ball. So it's a little bit even smaller than a women's ball.
The kiddo ball?
Must
Just
be.
hanging out in the
But like,
studio?
yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming that KBN brought it in.
Can we get a hoop in here?
No.
Not with Benny. Benny breaks too many.
Like right
when
now
you give
there.
him props.
Yeah, we can ask.
Right
Didn't he
there.
get in trouble for breaking?
No.
Why?
Yes, he did.
Do you see? Well, he did get in trouble, but do you see all the things that can break right in front of you?
Ben does. Now, the issue. Now, here's the thing. Now,
What if we had softer balls? Hold on. Time out.
We're all pretty soft.
What?
I don't know if I want mine
Didn't know
anymore.
you had balls.
I'm saying, what if we didn't use a regulation basketball? We use like Nerf balls.
No, the basketball and basketball hoop to me would not be the issue. It's the clown that's in that seat in the afternoon that has already unhooked the station many a time for just bumping into things.
Just tell him not to hang on the Nerf rim, okay? I know we have
It's
to
just-
have implicit instructions for him.
I think we could put it outside.
Could he dunk
there? Yes.
Like right now?
Wait.
No, when he played.
Yeah.
Basketball players are athletes, Chew.
Not as good as football. You want to get into this now? After going to the game?
Hey, did you see me just roll it out for you?
It's called a red carpet.
Well, I was
you wanna
getting a
get
little
into this now?
animated. I was getting a little animated.
A little.
A little.
She tried to set you up. Speaking of missing
I
it,
know.
lobbed it up, and you're like, wait, do you want me to dunk this right now?
Yeah.
But the best football player on that roster, the Bucks roster, clearly would be Dane Lillard.
What?
Yes.
Really?
He'd be like a Marcus Allen. Is he really 6'3"? He didn't look 6'3".
Yeah. Well,
Marcus
again-
Allen was about 6'3".
Again, Steph
He
Curry.
is smooth as silk.
Steph Curry looks tiny in the court.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's also 6'3".
But this was my point. After watching this game and taking everything in, there are more football players in the NFL that could play basketball as opposed to basketball players that could play
Not
football.
at that level.
Yeah.
No.
I'm telling you. Because it's so specialized now. You're telling me the best DB in the league couldn't cover a point guard?
I'm telling you, the best DB in the league would dribble 3 times and have it stolen away from him because he doesn't have the ball handling skills to hang in the NBA.
I'm just saying from a standpoint, if you said Tyreek Hill at 4 years old, here's a basketball, you're never touching a football.
But Tyreek Hill's also my size.
I don't think so, is he?
He's below 6 feet.
Deion Sanders.
Well, yeah, let's take
The
one
guy
of the best
who played 2 sports famously.
You're crazy.
Bo Jackson. No, so
What
again,
is
it's
your
been a
idea
while.
of an athlete?
It's been a while since I've been deep into the high school scene.
Yeah.
And it happened more when I was working in Madison, but there were multiple kids who really wanted to play basketball, but would have been mid-major type guys in hoops.
Yes.
Who then got major D1 offers as football players.
The reason they play basketball is you just can't take the stress of an NFL player.
I think a lot of them don't want to get hit anymore or injured. Like let me just bring a little bit of actual experience here to this. I talked to a lot of college football players who at one point played basketball and who wanted to make that happen, but like Gabe just said, had more opportunity. I've also talked to a lot of Division I basketball players who played football at one point, but realized I'm not cut out for the physicality here. So, I think they find their own lane. I think whatever lane they're best suited for, they end up finding.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the crossover is as clear as you think it is.
I think you guys are discounting, and it's a major discount of how strong NFL players are.
No.
How strong. Like Pat Connaughton, me and him are the same size.
Yeah. But you don't need that strength in the NBA.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But strength is, you either have it.
Well, it's functional. It's like
Reggie White never lifted a weight. I have never seen him. He didn't have to test when we tested. And that he was a freak-azoid. He was the equivalent of Giannis. Yeah. He would kill you.
Right. But the point that you were making to us this morning was that more guys could go from football and have success at the NBA level than vice versa.
Yes. Because strength isn't, you either have strength or you don't.
But again, most of the guys in the NBA aren't built purposefully to play football because you need to be more speedy and agile, and all that extra muscle would slow you down.
Okay. Do you look at a part of being an athlete as you can just go across the middle and get the ever-living you-know-what knocked out of you and then get up and continue playing?
When I think of athlete, no, that's not. I mean,
you
toughness,
have to have something in your head that makes you a little nuts.
Sure, but I don't think that means you're athletic or not.
I think it does.
I think you can be a little nuts and not be athletic. So that's an athletic trait?
No,
I think so.
I'm a little nuts for sure, but
you've got
I am
the
athletic.
yeah.
So.
But if you're a lot nuts.
Like the Congressional Medal of Honor.
What are we doing now?
There's something about them
Wait. Are you trying to connect the dot of Congressional Medal of Honor to the NFL? Is that what you're trying to do?
Saying,
the Brown
those
Star,
guys
the
are
Heart
different in battle, and the reason they get that thing is because the things they did were unbelievable. You look at it and you're like, oh my God.
All right, who could play in the NFL? A Navy SEAL or an NBA player?
I would go with a SEAL.
Yeah. Wasn't Boyer famously one? Nate Boyer?
So you're not agreeing with me? You guys are.
Well, I don't, but because again, you take a look at Myles Garrett. When you see Myles Garrett on a football field,
massive,
looks like a beast.
Who's that?
What?
Oh, the DN for Cleveland.
There it is. Thanks for keeping up. Go ahead, Gabe.
He's the same height as Steph Curry. He would be tiny on an NBA floor.
What's more freaky, what Giannis does, or Gilbert Brown dunking a basketball while running a 4.85?
So here's the thing, and this is what I think you were getting at this morning that we were just not prepared to address then. There are guys, there are freak athletes. I think yourself is one shoe. We've seen the video of you dunking in high school. There are guys who could play basketball. I don't think you could play at the highest level that the NBA requires.
And those guys couldn't play in the NFL.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
Correct.
They can't.
Well, that's why
because
the
that's
conversation
why
has
they
always
choose
been
basketball, because they don't want to get their heads bashed.
Yes.
Part of it is they're just.
You know who's a freak athlete?
Who?
And you look at him and you'd be like, no way.
Who?
Any guesses?
He said who 3 times.
What are you, an owl? Tausch.
Yeah, Tausch has got great feet. He's always had great feet.
And that's probably why he was really good at being an offensive lineman.
Yeah. That's what Barry, the story is that Barry saw him playing high school basketball in the state tournament in Madison when he kind of got sold on Tausch.
Yeah.
Oh, dude's got great feet. Going to be a good offensive lineman.
Football players are the best.
What a segment from you, pal.
Was that value?
A+.
I have no idea.
I would love to have him just run across the middle up there and then just know it's coming and just lay him.
I'll throw in high for him. Just kind of open up the ribs for you.
Hospital ball?
Yeah.
He's backed out of every challenge I've given him.
I challenged you.
Soccer?
Oh, my God. You're the one that won't do it. I said every time that I would do it.
No, you just look for excuses.
It's the vice versa, pal.
Remember before when you were telling him to look in the mirror? I think he finally did
Honest
it.
God.
You frustrate me.
I miss you.
I know, you're my buddy.
We're back.
When you're looking to start the weekend right, head to Bubbles and Brunch at St. Kate the Arts Hotel every weekend from 9 to 1 in Giggly Champagne and Wine Bar on St. Kate's second floor. This brunch is anything but basic. I was scrolling through my Instagram feed the other day, and one of my girlfriends and her husband were at Giggly Champagne and Wine Bar enjoying a lovely evening. I think it was actually a company party, and I was like, I got to get to Giggly. It was a great reminder, and that's what this is for you. Experience a brunch that is anything but basic at Giggly Champagne and Wine Bar inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Reservations are available online. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com, stkatearts.com. Gabe, you peeling out of here?
Yeah, I got to go do Greenie.
Gabe's going to do Greenie. You can hear that after Wilde and Tausch right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Merry Christmas, Gabe. We'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas, pals.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
Good morning, Tausch. How are you? Old T's a little, I'm not feeling 100%. Tummy ache?
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
No, just I think with all that little stuff that's going around, and I'm going to grind.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. 3-star tight end recruit Robert Booker II of Waunakee High School flipped his commitment back from UCLA to Wisconsin during National Signing Day on Wednesday. Booker on Prep Mania on ESPN Madison Wednesday night.
When I made the decision at first to leave the program, that I was looking at it more as like looking out for my future, more like a business look, but I wasn't really following what my heart was telling me to do.
Find the full conversation with Robert Booker II in the Prep Mania podcast feed on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts.
Unwrap your gift now, but pay later. Right now at Pella, put no money down, no payment, and no interest for up to 18 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Daniel Holland from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is joining me. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different from most other surgeons?
At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, we have all fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists
We have all subspecialties of orthopedics covered through our office, so you can see anybody from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes and everywhere in between.
So let's say someone is feeling pain and they finally walk into OAW for that first time. Can you take me through that process of what's going to happen next?
We always start with an office appointment, which will involve me conversing with the patient, trying to figure out what's happening, and then a physical exam. And we have on-site x-ray and on-site MRI if we should need to move into diagnostic tests of that sort.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a, oof, like just instead of a, huh.
Yeah. But that's all part of
You know
taking the
what I'm
training
talking
law.
about.
I do, but it's just such funny noises.
Did this get sexual or something? I don't know about it. What the hell just happened?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang. Let's go out with the bang.
Do you guys think Gabe wants off the show?
No.
I'm just putting it out there. He's doing a lot of national stuff. If big ESPN came calling, I feel like he'd be like,
Oh, he'd be gone. I don't think he wants to be off the show.
deuces.
He's already doing Big ESPN like 9 days a week. So
Yeah,
He's got
that's
his
true.
own show, doesn't he?
on weekends, yeah.
Granted,
and he's filming
2 in the
today.
morning until 4, but
That's
he's still on the show.
Excellent point. All right, I just want to make sure. I was getting a little nervous that maybe Gabe was trying to leave us, and I had to be like the girl on Wedding Crashers. I'll find you.
He's like 2 doors down.
So you're saying it wouldn't be that hard?
No, I'd
phew.
help you find him, in fact.
All right,
yeah.
phew. All right, we've been putting together the 12 Days of Christmas Jen, Gabe, and Chewy version. And we've been getting suggestions from our loyal listeners all morning long, and we got good ones. And Chef Ed was very good and gave us an entire song, which I appreciated. 5 dump buttons, that from Dave and Aaron. Let's see what else. 5 fights with KBN. That number should be higher. 4 dump buttons per show. 3 days Jen's on the show. Wow.
That's a shot.
Wow. That is a shot. 2 producers. 2 producers, I suppose. And then they wrote, and the thong one. Just like, 1 mostly unused paper towel. Wow, that is a throwback to when I said that I will use a mostly unused paper towel from inside the bathroom dispenser, the garbage dispenser. Okay, hold on. So here's what we have come up with. You ready for this, guys?
Do it.
I needed to get to, hold on, should I wait for the music?
I mean, I can just fast forward. What do you want?
Hold on.
What number do you want to?
All the way to 12, because I need to do the whole thing. I'm just going to go backwards.
We're at like 3, so let me...
Jump
wait a
ahead.
second.
Jump ahead. So we're going to start with the 12, and then I'm going to go 11, 10. I'm not going to sing the whole song. It is famously a very long song. It's like Stairway to Heaven or Bohemian Rhapsody, the 12 Days of Christmas.
All right, ready?
All right, yes.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is 12. Ready? On the 12th day of Christmas, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy gave to me 12. Chewy was right. 11 meetings missed. 10 readers scattered. 9. How'd we get here's 8. What's my password? 7. There was an incident. 6 words you can't say. Fire Joe Barry. 4 knuckleheads. 3 blue pills. 2 clunkers. And a thong flossing Chewy's butt cheeks.
That's very good. That was one. Did you skip 5, though?
Fire Joe Barry. You can say
Gotcha.
Carol at the end if you want. You could just drop it in as like an aside.
Yeah.
Carol. 4 knuckleheads, 3 blue pills, 2 clunkers. It has to be 2 clunkers.
Yes.
We can't go
Well,
total recall on you.
It's like martinis.
3
One's
is-
not enough and 3 are too many.
And a thong flossing Chewy's butt cheek. All right, pal. I'm not going to see you again, right? You go on vacation. You go Christmas, and then
Christmas.
you're out.
I leave Tuesday, back on the 9th, I believe. But you're gone anyways. You got
just for a national championship.
You got the Final Four and then the big one.
Final Four, yes, sort of. Yes, I have the Rose Bowl in Pasadena on the 1st. It's famously on the 1st this year, and then the national championship game in Houston on January 8th. But then after that, guess what you get? 5 full days of Jen.
Oh, I can't wait.
Can you handle it? Yes. Can anybody? We asked you today, are there more NFL players that could play in the NBA or more NBA players that could play in the NFL? 57% of people are saying there are more NBA players that could play in the NFL. We also asked you, did it bother you that Joe Barry brought his family into it this week? 60% of people said yes, it did. If you were given the opportunity to sit courtside or row 5 or 6, which is where Chewy was last night at the Bucks game when they got the win over Orlando, 76% of people say courtside all day, Chew.
Okay.
They disagree with you. Thanks for hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Enjoy your festivities and your family, everybody. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Everything's looking pretty good right now. If you are heading out onto the roads to do your road trip for this holiday weekend, just